You know how sometimes the biggest, most profound lessons come from the smallest, most ordinary things? Well, today, we're going to explore just that. We're going to see how a simple leaf can actually teach us a whole new way to communicate and, get this, even handle criticism.
So this is the big question, right? How on earth can a leaf teach you something so complex? Stick with me because we're about to go on a little journey that starts out in nature but ends with a communication tool that you can literally use every single day. Okay, so to start, I want you to imagine something with me. Our story begins with a really simple act, just taking a mindful walk and really, truly paying attention to the world around you. Picture yourself on this walk, and you're focusing completely on your senses. You're not just seeing leaves, you're noticing the big ones, the small ones, the bright yellows and deep reds. You're seeing the whole cycle of life right there. Some leaves are vibrant and alive, others are dying, and some have already fallen. You might even catch the scent of fresh bay leaves and think, I wonder how different that smells from the dried ones I have in my kitchen. And when you're that focused, something amazing happens. It creates this peaceful state of mind. It grounds you right here in the present. It's a feeling of total calm. But you know how fragile that peace can be. It can be shattered in an instant. So let's talk about what happens when that calm gets completely torpedoed by a single harsh comment. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? Someone says something critical, something that just cuts you deep. And in that one instant, everything just freezes. It feels like your whole world is slammed on the brakes. And what happens inside you? For most of us, it's like a circuit breaker flips. Your mind goes totally blank. You have no idea what to say, what to do. And then the old habits start creeping in, that urge to cry or complain or maybe just lash out in anger. It feels so automatic, like you have no choice in how you respond. But what if you did? What if there was a technique, a way to create just a tiny bit of space between that trigger and your reaction? A moment to just breathe. And this right here is where our simple leaf comes back into the picture. A small physical action can be the very thing that helps you regulate that overwhelming emotional storm and take back control. So instead of reacting emotionally, you shift your focus to something tangible, something real. You take a deep breath, you pick up one of those leaves you collected, you really feel it, look at it. Then you do something simple, like placing it carefully inside a book and putting something heavy on top. Now, this isn't about arts and crafts. This is a deliberate, mindful pause to reclaim our senses. You see what's happening? That quiet moment of focus gives your mind a chance to move past the initial shock. It creates a space for clarity. But the really important question is, what do you do with that newfound clarity? Okay, so you've created this pause. This is where things get really, really interesting. We can use this pause to look deeper, not just at our own reaction, but at the words themselves. Because think about it. When we hear something critical, we're not just reacting to the words. We're reacting to the story we immediately tell ourselves about those words. And that story might be completely different from what the other person actually intended to say. There's actually a fantastic concept for this from Arabic called misdaq. The misdaq is the reality a word is pointing to. It's the speaker's true intended meaning that's hiding underneath the literal word they chose to use. Let me give you a couple of examples because this makes it super clear. When a mother says her son is a moon, the word she's using is moon, right? But the misdaq, her intended meaning, is beautiful. Or if someone says the lion has arrived, they're not talking about a big cat. The misdaq is that a brave, respected person has just walked in. The word is just the container for the real meaning. And this is where so much conflict and so many hurt feelings come from. We assume that our definition of a word is the only definition. But for abstract words, words like decent or worthless, they're not concrete like moon. Each person's misdaq for those words is built from their own totally unique life experiences. Conflict literally begins in that gap between what they meant and what we heard. So let's bring this all together. How do we take this insight about the leaf, the pause, and the misdaq and turn it into a practical tool we can actually use in our lives? It all boils down to this one powerful shift in your mindset. Instead of jumping to defensiveness, you choose curiosity. This one simple change can transform a potential fight into a moment of real connection and understanding. So here's the new playbook. Step 1, you hear the critical word. Step 2, You pause. You take that breath. You remember the focus you had with the leaves. Step 3, instead of just reacting, you get curious. You ask yourself, I wonder what their misstack for that word is. And then step 4, you just ask them, directly and openly, when you say that word, what does it actually mean to you? And really, that's the whole thing. The next time you're faced with a difficult word, just remember that simple leaf. Take a pause, get curious, and choose understanding over conflict. You might be absolutely amazed at the connections you can build when you stop reacting to the word and start listening for the meaning. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. If you'd like to explore these concepts further, here's how you can get in touch.